The single-family permits are up this year. We issued the 100th permit this year. It's already exceeds what we did last year. So there's construction is going on. Things are picking up from that standpoint, at least in the residential sector. There's a few projects going in town, commercial. The Dollar General store is. They've been grading the site right next to the Bulldog Plaza. So in case you're wondering what that is, that's the Dollar General. Let's see what else commercial is there. Not too much I can think of. We're busy working on the city's Virgin River Habitat Conservation Plan. We've put a schedule together to have the drafts of that completed within the next few months. Been working with Clark County, BLM, Fish and Wildlife Service, our partners Virgin Valley Water and Southern Nevada Water Authority. That's moving along, starting to take shape. We'll eventually get to the issue of what the appropriate impact fees should be. Once we've determined what all the impacts to the species are and what the mitigation is going to cost. But that's an ongoing effort. John Willis of my staff is the project coordinator on that. Also had some meetings yesterday with the Bureau of Land Management regarding the property down on East Mesquite Boulevard for the flood control project with the dike. Working out details on obtaining the right-of-way so that we can reconstruct that dike, we can maintain it. There's some issues about trails through the area, and I think what the decision they reached yesterday was they're going to separate the trail issue from the dike. We'll proceed with obtaining the right-of-way for that so that we can get that flood control project in place in case we need it down the road. We're also working on a amendment to the sign ordinance that should be coming to council in the next month, dealing with subdivision directional signs. This is an issue that many in the development community have wanted for some time. We used to have, a couple of years ago, we had a section in our sign ordinance that provided regulations to place off-site temporary directional signs for new developing subdivisions. A lot of the builders, off the beaten path, kind of on the north end of town, that are far away from Oasis, Mesquite Boulevard, where a lot of the traffic is, have difficulty getting their clients up to see their product, and they've wanted these signs. That section we used to have in the code had a sunset clause, and it went away in 2008. It was repealed. In the meantime, the last few years since then, developers have, kind of taken things into their own hands and put up different kinds of signs, temporary signs, banners on trucks, whatever, to try and get the clientele out there to the projects. And so anyway, we met with a number of representatives from the development community, brainstorm, trying to come up with some measures that would work for them, work for the community, and the results of those talks are what we're going to be presenting to council probably next month. That's kind of what's been going on with us.
Dave?
Yeah, have you scheduled public hearings on the Virgin River Habitat Program? So we
No.
need public input into that?
We haven't yet, no. But there will be a 90-day comment period when it's, I guess, to the point that we're ready to go public.
And also on the sign ordinance, have you contacted the HOAs that are impacted by these signs? Because Canyon Crest is one of them that we're heavily impacted with the signs leading through Canyon Crest to the other developments. So hopefully you brought in maybe the the management company. I'm on the board there, but I haven't heard of anything that you contacted.
Yeah, we haven't. We can do that.
I'd appreciate if you would do that, so, because the HOA is impacted by all those signs that are put up all the time.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Anything from the police department, thinking it's going on this summer that people here should know about?
Our last event was a grad night out. I know some of you probably saw the news release. We had over 80% of the senior staff attend that from the total seniors that graduated this year. So we were really proud to give them a place where they could go to get them off the streets, but yet be able to give them a place where they could celebrate graduation and enjoy the next step into their new life. So that was a great event for us. We do all not have anything really pressing coming up over the summer because of the extreme heat, but we do have Mesquite Night Out, and then we participate with the Rotary Clubs. We have, we'll be there with their event. Gold Buttes coming up, Trunk or Treat, and then any of the other events we try to get to in the community. Just at the police department, we've been able to continue to maintain our response time, which is close to around 4 minutes, which we're very proud of. And as you know, we have a Chief Tanner's said that he has a zero tolerance for gangs and graffiti, and most of you know we've had a little bit of graffiti activity in the community. And I don't know if you've met Detective Sergeant Chesley, but he is also, he's taken over our detective area and our PIO. And with that, they've made an arrest with this last graffiti incident. So we're quite proud of our guys. Like Andy said, we also have a low number of staff, but our staff that we do have are very hard workers, and we are very proud of them. Any questions?
Thanks, Scott. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have the highest rate of crimes solved for any police department in the state of Nevada. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. I forgot to mention that. We do have the highest solve rate, so we have to give a hand to our staff members in our police department, and also to our city staff, mayor, and council for giving us the tools and the staffing that we need to accomplish that.
One of the successes that we had during recently concluded a legislative session was funding for a program called More Cops. I believe that's going to provide the city with close to $400,000 for the foreseeable future. Is that correct?
Yes, that just passed through the legislation, and the mayor, I'm sorry, not the mayor, but the governor has signed it. It has another hurdle down, and the county commission has to approve that, and that's coming up shortly. But after that, we should be able to hire 1 or 2 more police officers and put them on the road.
As I mentioned before, we have a new dispatcher coming to work for the position has been filled, but it's certainly going to fill next year. A new dispatcher. We're replacing an officer who left us during the course of this year, and then we have the possibility of 2 more officers before the end of the fiscal year. So more cops is something that really worked to our advantage. Unfortunately, a bill that would have helped us with our population problem relating to the C-tax did not pass, despite Herculean efforts to make sure that it did. That was the only ray of sunshine I think we had during the at the conclusion of the state legislative session.